Hickok 45 here. Look what I have. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it's the new M9 A3 Beretta, and we are going to shoot the thing. Happen to have an extended magazine, got a Gemtech suppressor on it that we might shoot a little bit. So, but mainly we want to show you the firearm. And before it gets so utterly filthy from using a suppressor, I thought I'd show you the inside of it, okay? Thanks to NC Silencer, we got the suppressor. And Bud's Gun Shop, we have the firearm. So let's take it over here and take a look at it. Let's take that big mag out, which those are actually my mags. I have several extra magazines. So yeah, we do appreciate NC Silencer and their support on the suppressor. We'll use that a little bit. Appreciate Bud's providing this firearm I requested, because it's hadn't been out all that long, but I've not shot one, and I've had a lot of requests to do it and questions about it. So I thought I would get one and let you take a look at it and see what you think about it as compared with the other, you know, Beretta, the FS and everything that I've had for a good while. Off and on, I've had a couple of different ones. So you can see from it right away, before I take it apart, it's a little different in color, isn't it? And I think it strikes most people as pretty cool, not too gaudy, even if you don't care for, you know, the colorization that we're seeing a lot in firearms these days. It doesn't hit me the wrong way. I kind of like the looks of it. You notice you got night sights on this one now, and they're extended a little bit. They set up high, a little bit higher, so you got tritium inserts on that. Got a dovetail on that front sight, which you don't have on the old M9 or the FS models and things. So you can replace that if you don't like it. Got a longer barrel, so it can be threaded and screw things onto the end of it like that. And I've got, of course, the thread protector off. So it's, you know, got the sights and all that. It's not a bad looking gun. You got a rail, some of the obvious differences there. So you can put something on that, Picatinny rail. Got this kind of honed down here, squared off the front of the trigger guard so that whatever you put on there, it butts up against that nicely. So not a bad looking little gun, I have to say. Let's take a look at the inside. Decock it, all right, take it back. Almost every part is interchangeable with the standard, you know, FS or the M9. I think the FS is a little different than the standard M9, the military carries, but it's about the same. And that's the only one I have. And of course it breaks down the same way. No major changes in the A3. And like I said, one of the first things I did was experiment. I took the barrel out and the slide, interchanged barrels and slides and guide rods and put them on the different frames because I was curious if any of that had changed enough that it wouldn't fit. And that's all the same. So it's all the major parts are interchangeable. The larger parts definitely. Okay, so you know, you could buy a couple of them and mix and match and get whatever color scheme you wanted. So you got the same operation there. Okay, and you see that different color. It's interesting. We've been firing the suppressor some, and I mean to tell you, you couldn't see anything in there. That's one reason I wanted to give you a look at it before I get it all dirtied up, because firing them gets them all dirtied up. The suppressor really gets them dirtied up. And again, we appreciate Bud's Gun Shop and all they do for us, and sending this to us to shoot. And we'll send it back. Get it all dirty, send it back. And of course, the ammo we're going to shoot in it from Federal. We appreciate our sponsorship from Federal. Wonderful. We got some 147 grain stuff, and I'm just shooting 115 grain for a change. I had a big box of that. I thought I'd just try it, and it seems to work in the Beretta just fine. So they tend to feed anything, almost. So they're nice guns, as we all know. The old Beretta. You notice the grip on this is a little different too. As I put it back together, you got checkering on the back, you got checkering on the front, a little more aggressive. And the slide, or the grip rather, has been downsized. It's not as thick from front to rear. It's thinner, has thinner grips on it. It would feel better in most of your hands. Now the standard old Beretta feels good to me, but it's chunky. This would feel better to most of you, unless you have huge hands. And if you do have huge hands, you have the option of putting this wraparound grip on it that comes with it, and it would make it feel more like the other one. I didn't put that on there. It would probably feel better to me. I figure most of you would like this, like the looks of it, and it would be what you would leave on it, be my guess. Got a bigger magazine release. That's kind of nice. They've improved a lot of little things about it. They were attempting to create something here that would maintain their contract with the U.S. military, okay? But it didn't work, as I understand. The military is still looking. But we're the benefactors of that. If you like the Berettas, you end up with another option, kind of an upgraded option that they were really trying to get that military contract with. And so it is a nice version of the Beretta, and it's out there on the commercial market. So there you go. And you know, I forget what the exact price on it is, to tell you the truth. I know some of the things they were trying to do with it, they put a polymer triggers, I understand. It doesn't seem polymer, but I think it's polymer, and the guide rod is polymer. So they're trying to keep it in the same price range or even less than the others, as I understand. Okay, so but yet it has some things that make it nicer. So I'll get that MSRP for you and put it in the description. I just forgot to look that up. That's a Google away, right? Google click away. So let's put this some of these devices back on it. And this one is just exactly like mine. It has the decocker. When you decock it, it renders the trigger, it puts it on safe, it renders the trigger inoperable. Okay, you're familiar with that if you have had a Beretta or fired one at all. Now this one does offer another option. It doesn't come with a pistol, but it's I think it's a G mode or something. It's a different decocker that actually is just a decocker. So if I have the firearm cocked and I want to decock it, but I want to keep it in action, it just renders it back to double action. Then you can fire it from there. So it's just it's a safety is all. It's not it just puts it in double action. Okay, so it doesn't render it inoperable. So that's an option too that you don't have with the other firearm. Okay, let's put this on there. Yeah, the military, it was not accepted, and so it's available to us, and who knows what the military is going to adopt. You never know. A lot of politics involved, you know, pricing, money, you know, and all that sort of thing. So we never know what a large agency, police department, FBI, the military is going to accept and adopt, because there's so many factors. They really are. These Berettas are good guns. I know there's been some problems with them. There's problems with every gun, but they're generally pretty good guns. Some people just love them, and I like them. I want to like them even more than I do. My biggest complaint, as I've always said, is, of course, double single action, but also it's just awfully big for a 9mm. I mean, I don't really get anything from this gun that I don't get with a Glock 19 or especially a 17, really. And there I go, comparing with Glock, sorry. But it's just a much bigger gun. But I like the feel of them. You know, I own one. They're fun to shoot, and I generally can shoot them pretty well. Now, with the suppressor on here, I won't. Let me warn you. Okay. Suppressors, for those of you who are infatuated with suppressors, they're a little bit tricky sometimes in getting them sighted in to where you want them to hit. Okay. And I've not worked with this one too much. It's a Gym Tech. We appreciate that from NC Silencer. Let's put a round in, and I think it's going to work okay. Let's see if we can hit that pot with it. That is so funny. It's just like you're throwing rocks. Whoa! Hey, that was cool. He went through and got the coffee. Got to allow for the sights. Now, with these sights being a little bit higher, let's see if I can hit the cowboy. There you go. You can actually feel like you're doing a little bit better job with sighting it. I might even be able to hit one of those 2-liters. I don't know. Boy, what a man. I love killing things down there quiet. Oh, that sounded violent. Didn't mean to sound violent. Oh, wonder if I could Kentucky windage one into the gong. We really do appreciate Kentucky. They give us that Kentucky windage option. I claim that because I'm from Kentucky. Oh man, that's pretty neat. Well, you know, I've got another magazine. Let's see. You see how dirty it's getting already? This would be a good test for it though. Get it really filthy. Plus you get more back in your face even. Oh, wow. Filthy, filthy. Then we'll see if it'll fit. I got one more magazine of this. So let's, I wonder if I can hit that little pot. Yeah. a little pot smoking. Here's a big pot. Oh, almost forgot about him. Oh man, I bet it's all over my face. Wouldn't really matter. As ugly as I am, the much you can get covered up, the better. Look at that. See, that's one thing about suppressors. You do get a lot of stuff back. You get a dirty gun much faster. Okay, and sometimes it's a little difficult to get it sighted in, hit right where you want it to. But they're fun. Okay, and that one's rather warm. I'll get him off without burning myself too badly. Woo! Like I say, this unfortunately for Beretta, you know, they apparently have lost their contract with the U.S. military, and woo! But they tried to upgrade this. I understand they have another model too. They're going to submit for the trials, so we'll see how that goes. That is really dirty. So now it's not suppressed. But we all know Beretta does good work, whether you like their specific firearm or not. And again, I have a love-hate relationship with these things. They're fun to shoot. There's something about them. There is a factor there. They're just a neat gun. They have an interesting look about them, a good feel, and they shoot well. They're just reliable as heck. They really are. They're just as reliable as a Glock, you know, or a SIG or anything else. That's for sure. And yeah, and they have a little bit of history as a U.S. military pistol and all that, so I think they'll be popular for a long time. Firearm does not have to be carried by the U.S. military, of course, to be popular. That definitely helps, doesn't it? Puts it on the map for a lot of folks. So it's kind of a mess there now. Good, we'll try it. See, what did I not tell you about it before I start making noise with it? You'll get the thinner grips again, and it's going to feel good to most people. Feels more like a 1911 in the grip. You got the straight, you know, the back strap, so to speak, there. Plus it's checkered, and you notice you can see them together there. It's just a bit different contour, so it feels better. I think it's going to feel better to most people. I mean, I can take either one because I have a large hand. So it's okay either way with me. Your magazine release bigger, the thread protector on there. And the magazines I didn't talk about, but the magazines are supposed to have, and these are the mags, it comes with 3 mags. They have some special coating, forget what it's called, but it's something that was developed to enable the Beretta to work better when in a sandy environment, okay? Which our soldiers find themselves in quite often, right? And it's just it's very slippery, and it's just supposed to work better if they're sand on the inside or outside the magazine. They're coated inside the magazine and outside the magazine, okay, with that. So we won't do the sand test today, but who knows? And so these 3 come with it. That handy dandy box is part of it too. You know, the box, and then the grips, you know, in there and everything, the mags. So it's an interesting gun box, isn't it? Looks like a lunch pail. All right, let's take a couple shots without all that. I think I have oh, we haven't addressed this ammo can here yet, have we? All right, we're shooting 115 grain American Eagle. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's hitting right where I want it to. Yep, a little bit noisy, but it hits where I know where it's going to hit. Like, I'll bet I can hit the cowboy without even trying. Yeah. And that red plate right in the middle. I'll bet I can hit the gong now that I can use the sights. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak too soon, though. It's amazing when you can use sights. And let's try the red plate over there. All right, and let's try a pig. Oh, we got 2 pigs, huh? See, they are really tack drivers. Let's try these little 5 plates here. Yeah. They just work. They really do. Oh, we got another one here. Cool. Let's see if we can make it malfunction. I'll shoot it weak-handed. This thing. Kind of coughing. Try that cowboy over there. Yep. Let's try something. Yep. Can't limp wrist it weak-handed. Look how dirty it is. Still working. We're out of ammo. Yeah. Of course, the colorization of it makes it look even dirtier than it is, right? When your firearm has a black finish, it's a dark finish. It you know, it doesn't show up as much. We're used to that. So these guns get filthy looking, and even if they're not all that dirty. We'll shoot a little bit more. Let's see, what else did I forget? Okay, one thing that's different, little things, is what they did to this. It's not a major revamping of the firearm. The safety, you notice when it's in fire position on the M9, the FS, whatever, it's pretty much horizontal there. And when you grab it, it's in the way for me. I don't like it really. And it's in the way on this one too. But it points up a little bit, so if you get your hand into it, you're not as likely to knock it off or knock it on the safe, you know, without meaning to. I don't know. If it went up a few more degrees, I would like it better. But I'm just not crazy about the safety and all that on the slide. I think a lot of people are not, and that's one of the big negatives of this pistol, this format in general. Even with upgrades, if they could have gotten that down on the frame, that would be nice. Of course, that would be a major change, wouldn't it? So that's just a little thing there. Ouch! Somehow it's getting hot, but good looking pistol still, I have to say. These are some mags I've had. We've not had any malfunction problems, so I mean it's been working fine. We had a little issue with the suppressor, but it's been working fine. These old mags I got when we had the CX4 Storm around here, and just kept it. Since I have a Beretta, let's take a few more shots of those. You know, we loaded up more magazines really than we need to shoot, but I guess we'll just shoot them out. How about that? Let's go back over there. This 115 grain rounds might not knock down a lot of things, but I'm going to try a couple turkeys or something here. Oh, going high, I guess. Can't see it. Let me try a pig. I think I was hitting it a little bit, but basically I couldn't see where I was going. I'm going to go up to those rams, put a couple on them. It won't knock them down. Yeah, I don't know. Throwing them everywhere. Let me try the gong again, get my bearings. Yeah, I think part of it, I was jerking the trigger down a little bit. Yeah, I am. And that's a tendency I have with the Beretta. It's one reason I would never probably carry it, even though I enjoy shooting the thing. And I'm going to shoot that one out. Let me see what, well, let me just rack it out. All right, it's clear. When I pull the trigger on a Beretta, here I'm making excuses for myself, but I have to really concentrate, really focus. It breaks way back here for me. You know, my fingers touch. It just breaks way back here. Talked about that before, I think. Any firearm, you or me, either one, of course I have large hands, so it's more likely, large dirty hands right now, it's more likely to happen. But if I have to squeeze way back here to get that trigger to break, it makes a big difference in how well I can shoot the firearm. It's just that simple. Up close and, you know, defensively and all that wouldn't make that much difference, but, you know, like you just have to put the safety on. You know, I'm fine, but when I start trying to really shoot at longer ranges and precisely, I have to watch. A fun gun to shoot. Great trigger break, I'll have to say. That's one thing I haven't talked about, so I think I won't. No, the trigger on this one versus that one, it's just a little bit lighter on the double action. It's a little bit smoother, not dramatically, but it's a little bit better. And it might break just a little bit better on the single action, but I can't really tell much difference. People say the triggers are a lot better. It's not a lot better to me. It's just maybe a little bit better. I have no problem with this one on the single action. You know, it's just fine. But and in double action, it's okay, but it's a little heavier than this one. So this one's not bad. Oh, we got one magazine left. Can't resist. Can't resist. So for those who don't know the Beretta, when you have it cocked, it's ready to fire right now. That's why it's pointed downrange. You push down on the safety and it decocks it, and you have no trigger. Okay, to fire it, you got to push on the safety, and it's ready to go. Double action like this. Okay. Now once it's fired, it's single action. So you got it. So you basically, it's single action essentially, except for the first shot. Okay, so a pretty nice firearm if you like the Beretta. That's what it really comes down to. If you like this firearm, and that's basically why we do this, try and give you my impression, our impressions of it. Mostly because some of you are considering maybe the purchase of it. If you're a Beretta person, you've got this firearm or an M9 or maybe an actual military model or whatever, and you're trying to decide whether to upgrade, regardless of whether the military is adopted or not. You know, I think if you really like the Beretta and you have gotten used to it, and it's your firearm of choice, you thoroughly enjoy it, maybe you carry it, maybe you thoroughly enjoy it at the range, and you're enticed by the upgrade, the A3, yeah, jump on it, because it's pretty nice. It's been tweaked in a lot of little places that just make it a nicer gun. I mean, either one is fine. Kind of like a Gen 4 Glock versus a Gen 3 or something. You know, either one is fine, but there's some little things that you might like if you can afford to trade or buy up or whatever you're doing. You know, the night sights, the higher sights, the threaded barrel. You know, unless you just don't like the looks of it, it is kind of an upgrade in a lot of ways. You can have the same gun. I don't see a downside, do I? I can't think of a real downside, unless you just hate the rail. You know, a lot of guns, maybe that's not a compliment, but on a lot of guns, the rail is offensive to me. You know, yeah, oh man, I like that gun, but that big old thick rail, even though it's practical for a lot of people. On this gun, for some reason, it doesn't bother me as much, maybe because it's a big old gun to begin with, and it doesn't stand out so much. But I don't really see a lot of downsides to it. You got more flexibility in terms of being able to switch out that decocker to decocker only instead of a safety. So that's kind of a nice option. And the flat back mainspring, or it's not really mainspring there, but that flat back of the grip, you know, feels pretty good to me. So anyway, the A3 rejected by the military, but doesn't have to be rejected by me or you if you like the Beretta 92. It's a pretty nice pistol. Comes with the 3 mags, like I say. And if you kind of like the pistol, but it was too big for your hands, this is just what the doctor ordered for you, because it feels a lot better than that would, I'm sure. So no other stories I can make up about it that I can think of. Comes in a cool lunchbox there, and it could be yours if you would like a new upgrade of the Beretta 92. So take a look at it. Life is good. We'd like to thank one of our sponsors, SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. SDI has fully accredited distance learning programs where you can get certified in gunsmithing or even an associate's degree in firearms technology. Of course, the study includes hands-on experience, which is important, of course. So check it out. Go to sdi.edu or just click on the link in the description. Okay. And also would like to remind you to check out the Hickok 45 Facebook page and the Hickok 45 and Son channel and its Facebook page, as well as Gun Culture Radio on iTunes. Now remember all this, because I'm coming to your house randomly over the next year or two to give you a quiz on it. Okay? Thank you.